It's now 6 o'clock right here on Big Breakfast, Today FM, today's hit music.
Hey, I'm Pauline.
And I'm Alan. Tune in to The Breakfast Show on Today FM with Pauline and I every weekday morning.
From 6 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Right here on Today FM, today's hit music.
Today FM, today's hit music.
In tonight's bulletin, Police Commissioner goes on a beat patrol in the capital. One Fiji says it wants to build a racially tolerant Fiji. And various parties name more candidates as nomination deadline approaches. Thanks for joining us. I'm Amrita Priyadarshini and this is FBC News. Police Commissioner Ben Hunewald, exactly 3 months on the job, went on his first beat patrol last night to get a feel of the nightlife in Suva. The Commissioner says the capital is relatively safe, but people should enjoy it within the bounds of the law. Rashika Kumar joined the officers on patrol and files this report.
Senior officers in tow, Commissioner Ben Hunewald got first-hand experience of Suva Street at night. It's a busy time for police with the week-long Hibiscus Festival, school rugby competitions and the 2-week school break.
Everything seems to be well organized and there is nothing that I'm concerned about. It's crowded, but I think the people are enjoying themselves, and as long as they enjoy themselves and they do not mess up with issues that is not acceptable, then we do not have a problem with that.
The police commissioner has sent out a stern warning for minors. Stay away from nightclubs and don't loiter in the streets.
I read in the newspapers about the school children flocking the streets, but I don't think we saw any youth in any of the nightclubs tonight. But we will have a watchful eye, and we are warning them that they're not allowed underage, and if we find people underage, that is the responsibility of the licensee as well as the children. We will take them out and we will take appropriate steps.
Police presence has also been beefed up in the streets. Officers are also keeping an eye on the regular hangouts for minors, drunkards and those with a criminal intent.
We met with the town council and we indicated to them that we will increase our visibility during the Hibiscus Festival, and that is in fact what we're also doing.
The Commissioner says from what he's seen, there is no great danger in the capital, but people need to be responsible and obey the law. Rashika Kumar, FBC News.
One Fiji party leader, Filimoni Vosarongo, has laid out part of the platform of the party ahead of its manifesto launch. He says the party stands for political freedom, liberty and dignity. Ritika Pratap reports.
This was the first official public event for One Fiji after it was registered, outlining some key areas they will focus on if voted into Parliament. The party will recognize social, economical and political stability for all Fiji citizens.
This party deals with that reality. It recognizes that the security of the Fiji citizens of Indian origin and other races of different origins of our country is tied to the stability of the indigenous population of Fiji and what they consider to be prized, security to their land and their identity.
Although its manifesto is still in the works, Filimoni Vosarongo says One Fiji will create jobs and open innovative new industries. It also promises to maximize land use and add value to productivity.
We intend to outlaw the Land Use Decree of 2010 and boost commercial function of the Native Land Trust Board to assist landowners put their land to highly productive commercial use.
There has been a lot of debate from political parties on the 15% VAT rate. One Fiji party says they will maintain the VAT and channel the money into maintaining the environment, reef conservation and mining. It also supports free education programs.
To remove VAT from items would mean that the burden would simply have to be shifted elsewhere. But I'm asking the people of Fiji today to make a resolve to sacrifice this for just the next 4 years.
Reflecting on the 1999 election, where the SVT and NFP coalition failed, Vosarongo says, while race is a reality, it's not an issue that divides us as a nation.
There's one thing that we can learn from our past experience is that we will not be able to resolve our race relation issues of our time unless our community, our society, and definitely our parliamentary leaders will come together with a greater understanding of our differences. The superficial solution of a common name in itself won't do. We are entitled to the heritage of our past and our different identities and different stories.
The party leader says while One Fiji may be the newest and possibly the youngest, its ideas have lived through many centuries. The party was registered on August 3rd. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
Meanwhile, One Fiji has named 18 candidates. They are party leader Philemoni Vosarongo, Sitiveni Kalau, Andrew Misiki, Akmal Ilyasali, Asinada Batikara, Deborah Akisi and Finen Ditoka. Other candidates are Josean Delai, Macareta Rossi, Navolioni Delasau, Offa Fisher, Simoni Vuatalevu and Viliame Raile. The last batch are Semi Momoendonu, Roko Taliai Rasolo, Penny Vuevuelala, Paul Peters and Savinanda Kondai. Now, another 6 candidates will be included in the party when it submits its nominations on Monday. Now, the Fiji First Party has named its remaining 30 candidates. Party General Secretary Ayar Sayed Qayyum released the list yesterday, naming some prominent people. Former Permanent Secretary in the Prime Minister's Office, Pio Tikut-Nduandua, former Minister Chiochi Konrote, former Deputy CEO of the Itoke Affairs Board, Apukuki Kurusinga, and former Permanent Secretary Education, Dr. Bridge Lal. The Fiji First candidates include a wide cross-section of the community, with candidates from the Northern Division, social workers, businessmen and teachers. Former Commissioner Western Choeli Dawaki, Rural Advisory Councillor V.M. Pillay, former Commissioner Eastern Howard Polatini are also in the list. Other candidates includes former media personalities Veena Bhatnagar and Andi Laisatora and former journalist Matai Akola. Fiji First nominations were submitted to the Elections Office last night. The People Democratic Party today announced 9 candidates who will stand in the September 17 general election. Party leader Felix Anthony announced the 9 candidates at their headquarters in Suva. They are Daniel Urai, Naipote Vere, Abhi Ram, Choelin Ronrolangi, Andisivo Ravuwale, Michael Fernando, Penny Finau Ndoko Lotu, Poate Mata and Manasa Naideru.
So we are still planning to nominate all 50 candidates. We're just waiting on some formalities for the remainder of the people. As soon as we have them on hand, we will be in a position to make those announcements. But until then, I have decided that we will not make announcements until all formalities are received on hand and are complete.
This brings the party's total candidates to 43, with the remainder of the candidates to be announced on Monday. When we return, a slow start to Hibiscus 2014 as gloomy weather dampens turnout.
Pula FM number 2 na sera ni wasiningo na ni batara ni sibiti ko weekend na diwa en na tini na miniti na may pakuriti ore beng grabe na nonton nonongo kanda na dapat ko ani no na kaloko en ay kavenden de bobli na tay wali ni may dapat ko na wani matakabo kan lib serti ko na biser tali oni na namaka do batati ko may kina na kenan daw ro di kanamaki Pula binaka ayo salami lawa do bataki ya na batara na wani dio na kaloko moni tiki na barumbuka en ang Pula FM number 2 en na sera
Welcome back to FBC News. Now, Vodafone Hibiscus 2014 off to a slow start, mostly due to the gloomy weather. The mother of festivals run throughout the week. Stall owners are hoping more people will turn up. Savaira Tambua has the story.
It's said there's never a hibiscus festival without a little rain, and it was no different today. However, people still brave the weather and turn up at Albert Park to check out the food stalls and the rides.
Came here today to celebrate the first day of hibiscus.
Festival today is good. I'm here in the Albert Park. I'm enjoying the hibiscus in the 2014.
Although the numbers are low by hibiscus standards, Fijians of all ages did turn up on day one. Stall owners who've been part of the festival for some years are hoping the weather improves and business picks up.
This year is now the weather is not good, so the crowd is not very well like the other years back.
This year the weather is very bad. We're not hoping that we're gonna earn more money.
Contestants in all categories made their first public appearance today. One of them will be crowned Miss Vodafone Hibiscus a week from now. The muddy conditions at Albert Park is something you'll have to bear with when you come down to the Hibiscus Festival. The muddy conditions at Albert Park is something you'll have to bear with when you come down to the Hibiscus Festival. But if past experiences are anything to go by, the bogey ground will do little to deter the crowds over the coming week. Savaira Tambua, FBC News.
A delegation from Fiji is in India for a conference and has been meeting with specialists who can help improve our agricultural sector. Shireen Lata has more details.
The delegation led by the Permanent Secretary Ropate Lingere discussed various issues during the consultations. Farming is huge in India with a large amount of its 1 billion people dependent on agriculture.
We've got very high scope in agriculture. We need to reduce our imports on agriculture because Fiji has great potential in agriculture. I see that in some areas we have not capitalized this opportunity. Some of the produces that can be grown here, we need to work on this.
Fiji's issues while on tour includes environmental, social and economic sustainability of family farms, enhancing profitability and the use of technology. The High Commission is trying to get India involved in our agriculture sector in order to reduce poverty and malnutrition and keep youth on farms.
We're looking at importing seeds from India. The cost of seeds in India is a fraction of what you will buy from elsewhere that are imported in Fiji. So this is something that we could capitalize from the region where the climatic conditions are very similar to Fiji. For example, the south of India, where the temperatures don't vary so much.
The ministerial delegation, which returns home next week, also visited farms, research institutes and other agricultural entities in India. Shireen Lata, FBC News.
Coming up in sports, Western schools dominate hockey championship in Suva. And Fiji Scouts will be keeping a close eye on national netball tournament.
बॉलीवुड हीरो पंती रे. Get this.
हीरो सपना दिखेला बंद करो.
क्या करो यार, सबको आती नहीं, मेरी जाती नहीं.
मिर्ची मस्त मॉर्निंग में हूँ अश्निल सिंह.
हाय, मैं हूँ काजल.
शामिल हो जाए हमारे साथ मंडे टू फ्राइडे
6 AM to 9 AM.
मिर्ची FM, it's hot.
Leading the sports scene tonight, Liline Memorial School is currently leading the Under-18 Coke Zero Deans final against Ratu Kandavulevu School 13-5. And in other finals, Queen Victoria School dominated the junior grades, defeating Maris Brothers High School 21-19 in the Under-14 and Ratu Navula 12-3 in the Under-15 grade. Maris Brothers High School won both the Under-16 and Under-17 grades. It beat Natambua 16-7 in the under-16 and also defeated Leline 25-18 in the under-17. Ratu Kandavu Level School won the under-19 title after defeating Lomaivuna 18-7. And the Naistar Siri rugby team has booked a final against Nandronga in the Skipper Cup, beating Nandi 15-9 in the semi-final at Ratudakambao Park in Nosori. Former national speedster Nosoni Rocco marshalled his players to pull a win against the Ilyasa Tanivula coach side. Nandi made lots of ball handling mistakes, which Naistar Siri took full advantage of. The Fiji National Rugby League has delayed naming its coach for the national team. The board is still deciding on the best candidate to lead the team to the next World Cup. Administrators want the coach to work on a number of weaknesses in the Fiji Mbati that were exposed in previous international outings.
I personally believe that the strength and conditioning is one. Number two is the game plan. Number three is endurance. And number four is the fitness level. You may have seen we played in the last World Cup. The games that we won, we didn't have that many. Those teams were not that strong.
Meanwhile, in the Fiji National Rugby League Vodafone Top 8 competition, DC's Nandera Panthers defeated Nambour Broncos 18-6 today at Suva Grammar School grounds. The coaching staff was happy with the performance of the players who stood tall after the final whistle.
We have got what we targeted for this week. We do our targets week by week. And we saw in the points table that we are running second. We are running second. So now when we win, so it stays the same. So now what we'll be working on was that just the weaknesses from next week.
Well, the McCoy Bulldogs beat Police Sharks 38-10 and Sambeto Roosters beat Top Line Warriors 44-4. The Fiji Netball Association is gearing up for the National Championship tournament next week. The two-day event will be held in Lautoka. Josephine Navula has the details.
23 provincial teams have confirmed their participation for the upcoming netball event. Fiji Netball President Wainiki Timboyandrao says the public can expect an intense tournament this year.
Last year, Suva had won the major title, but Lautoka took out the B grade and the under-21 title. So we see Nasinu coming back to contest the A grade and of course the Suva under-21 and the other teams competing for these titles.
Boyandrao says they have been building up to the tournament for some time now, and the number of teams have stepped up is a positive sign for FNA.
We have teams like Mangondro from Ba fielding 2 teams. We have Naitasiri Vunindawa who are fielding 3 teams, and of course Suva Nasinu, Tailevu and Nandrongana Vosa. There are 2 different teams apart from Lautoka, Nandi, all to be at the national championship.
National selectors will also be scouting for fresh talent to the Netball World Cup in Australia next year. Games will be held on Friday and Saturday at the multi-purpose court in Lautoka. Josephine Navula, FBC Sports.
Western schools have been impressive at the Fiji Secondary School Hockey Tournament, which ended at the National Hockey Centre earlier today. Josephine Navula reports.
Performance of the hockey teams from the West have taken the organizers by surprise.
I must take my hat off to the schools from the West and Levuka. They are very accustomed to playing on the grass turf. However, I can see that they have been playing remarkably well. In the West, they've had a lot of problems because they used to play at Natambua High School, and this year they've had to do with playing at Nandovu Park.
Although most of these schools have never played on the national hockey turf before, they have still been able to improve their game from previous years.
SVC has been doing remarkably well. I think they are the top contenders from the West. From Levuka, I think Levuka Public School is doing exceptionally well. And in Suva, for the girls team, BMS has really come up a long way. And this year, they have really outshone in their performances.
Swami Vivekananda College from Nandi has been signalled out as one of the schools that's shown the most improvement.
The sports, there were less number of students participating, and currently if you look at 2014 now, there are so many students, more than 800 students are participating in the tournament, and it's quite encouraging to see that the students are learning hockey and playing hockey.
The hockey final is being played right now and the results are expected later this evening. The Secondary Schools Hockey Association is also using the competition to groom players for the 2018 Olympics. Josephine Navula, FBC Sports.
Showers were experienced over the central and eastern divisions today. Fine weather prevailed elsewhere. Now the temperatures range from mid to high 20s. Suva a low of 25 this afternoon. The cloudy conditions and showers will continue in the capital and Savu, while conditions will prevail elsewhere. As for Monday, fine apart from brief showers over the interior and eastern parts of the larger islands. Southeast winds 20 to 25 knots, rough seas and moderate to southerly swells. Recapping our top stories tonight, Police Commissioner goes on a beat patrol in the capital. One Fiji says it wants to build a racially tolerant Fiji. And various parties have named more candidates as nomination deadline approaches.
A peaceful of Fiji.
I want to save Fiji.
I want to quit after the election.
Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via our Facebook page, FBC News. Or if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or hashtag FBC News. And to receive the latest headlines on your mobile phone, take subspace FBC to 777. That's news tonight. I'll be back again tomorrow. Nimo demanda.
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन पर आपका स्वागत है बच्चों की दुनिया में। हमेशा की तरह आज भी हम आपके लिए कहानियाँ और कविताएं लेकर आए हैं और बच्चों आप हमें कॉल भी कर सकते हैं। नमस्कार, मैं हूँ पल्लवी। रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन पर मंडे टू फ्राइडे 3 से लेकर 4 बजे तक बच्चों की दुनिया में और 4 से लेकर 7 बजे तक मस्तानी शाम के सफर में शामिल रहिए मेरे साथ।